EP Magazine's annual healthcare issue contains a wide selection of articles for parents, caretakers, and professionals who care for children and youth with special healthcare needs, including families who have multiple children with disabilities. Further topics include early intervention, oral care, medical bills, and physical fitness, concerns faced by most families, but especially challenging to those with special needs. Read it today at www.epmagazine.com.
Oscar Mike Radio is a proud podcast partner of REITs Across America Radio, heard every Thursday at 11 a.m. and Sunday at 8 a.m. Eastern. They're also big supporters of the nonprofit I Got Your Six, Two Lives at Once. And with every REIT you sponsor through Oscar Mike Radio, $5 goes back to this great organization dedicated to making a difference in the lives of veterans, law enforcement, firefighters, and first responders battling PTSD. Two Lives at Once pairs these brave men and women together with dogs rescued from kill shelters. In this way, two lives are saved at the same time by saving each other. Donate now. Go to REITsAcrossAmerica.org/Oscar Mike Radio to help. That's REITsAcrossAmerica.org/Oscar Mike Radio.
Suicide is preventable, and each of us has a role to play in suicide prevention.
Suicide is complex. There is no single cause.
And it's not always a mental health issue. It could be loss of a job or home, financial or relationship issues, pain, or leaving the military.
Suicide does not discriminate. It affects all ages, races, and genders, veterans or not.
If you know a veteran who is struggling, connect with them. Let them know help is available.
There is quick and easy access to services in times of crisis.
Dial 988, then press 1. Talking about it is okay.
Don't keep it inside. Don't be ashamed. Don't wait. Reach out.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Go with the girls, yeah, you could go with me, you could go with the good old boys. It don't much matter, it's all good company. You could go in your boots, put 'em on. You could go in your jeans, pull 'em up. You could go in your yellow sundress. Either way, you're a gorgeous gal to me. But anywhere you go, we're all going to the same old place, to a bonfire Friday night, throwing down all
Hello and welcome again to Oscar Mike Radio. My name is Travis. I'm your host. Oscar Mike Radio is part of the Hubazoo Network. You can find out more on hubazoo.com. I want to thank my sponsors, Joyce Asack of Asack Real Estate, Army National Guard veteran Mark Holmes of Reapers Detailing and Power Washing, and my supporters, Case on Shaving Company, Black Cat Designs, and Exceptional Parent Magazine. Thank you. It's been a while, but I've got one. I've got one back. I want to thank you for, coming on and talking with me. We've got a veteran artist, a veteran country artist. So without any further ado, without any delay, Cody Howell, U.S. Navy veteran, welcome to Oscar Mike Radio.
Thanks for having me on, Travis. Cool.
Well, before we get into the, it's all good stuff, but with the really good stuff, which is your music and, what you do, I'm always interested in talking to Navy guys, Navy sailors. What'd you do in the U.S. Navy?
So I was a mass communication specialist. Everything from combat photography to video, making videos, editing videos. Was on an aircraft carrier for about 3 years. Then got to go to the special operations side for the last 3 years, which was pretty cool. Got to do a deployment over in the Arabian Gulf as a 10.5-monther. That was pretty nuts, but yeah, it was all fun, man. It was a good portion of my life. I really enjoyed it, and then and all the stuff I learned too, and the different places I got to go.
So you're the guy while we're getting, while we're doing training, you're the guy with the camera getting to watch it all and then make it a story. Is that? Yeah. We were always jealous of those Marines. Oh well, First Sergeant, I'm Lance Corporal so-and-so with a camera. I have to take this photo. What do you mean you're not training? Well, I'm doing my job. So what's it like being on an aircraft carrier, getting the pulse of aircraft carrier life? People don't realize how many people are on one of those things.
Yeah, so I think if I'm right, while we're in port, there's like about 3,000 people. Whenever we're at sea, there's like 5 to 5,500 people. It's a huge city, man. Especially like pretty much like a whole year of my life I was on there. It's you'll have the worst part. Well, besides the bathroom sometimes, but it's all right. So going to the galley and stuff like that, you get the lines, around lunchtime, going all the way up through the P-way, up the deck, and then out into the hangar. And they'll get long sometimes, and it's like, just going forever. And obviously, you probably seen it. You got your 3, stacked up beds, 3 high, little coffin type thing.
True story. Well, we went to Miramar for a dog and pony show, and then we were doing our hawk stuff, and our lieutenant knew somebody he went to Naval Academy with or college with, something like that, and we got to tour the Arleigh Burke, the John Paul Jones. And, we got to sleep out in the desert sometimes, Cody, but nothing prepared us for you guys' sleeping burst section. Like there's 4 of you guys stacked literally on top of each other. Like we never complained about sleeping in the desert again. That was insane. What happens if somebody has like intestinal issues at night, man? That's got to get like air.
Yeah, that's just... They keep it so cold because that somehow helps with that. I don't know if that's true or not, but that and snoring was the worst part. But it would be like, hey, freaking, Johnson, shove Larry or something, and freaking he's sitting there trying to get the. But it doesn't get into too bad. It's the worst part about it, I think, is like whenever our berthing was right underneath the catapults that's sending off the and so you get like each time, and then you just get used to it. But I got a little bit of I think I always slept on my right side, so this left ear gets crackly a lot of times now. No but kidding. It's all right.
So you were in the Navy for like 8 years, right?
Yes, 7, just about 7, right on 7.
Okay. So 7, okay. So, but you're in music now. So were you one of those, sailors with a guitar on Liberty, holding a little concert? When did you get started in music, or was that something before you got in the military?
Yeah, before I got in the military, I was going to college for audio engineering, and then I had a little like red dirt country band, and so then I went to the military and just I brought my guitar and play some. Uh, well, I guess I was that guitar guy playing, and then yeah, and then I had to get back, man. I had to get back to music. It kept calling me.
So is when you transitioned, was it just a natural thing to go into music, or was it like, when I'm getting out of the military, I know I want to be an artist?
Yeah, I knew I wanted to be an artist. I didn't have any idea how. Uh, so I used the GI Bill to get into Belmont University for music business to mainly get me over here and just get me learning whatever it was that I need to learn and hit the grind coming here. The transition was um like moving. So I got out and went back home for a couple months and then moved from my hometown back up to here. So I had a little bit of time. So the transition was all right. It wasn't super rushed or crazy, too crazy.
All right, all right. So we're on with country music, Navy veteran and country music artist. He is doing his thing. Cody is, I watched your YouTube videos. I was like, wow, this is cool stuff, Mr. Howell. But I have a question. I ask every artist.
Thank
No artist escapes, and you're no different. So I'm in fair treatment. Here we go. Here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a lot of work. You've gone to audio engineering. You know your way around a camera and a microphone and software. You've done tons of hours in the studio promoting yourself, so on and so forth. It's a grind. It's a lot of work. But let's just say that, think about it this way. Like there was like Neil Young or somebody sold their music catalog for $300 million, Cody. $300 million. So here's the question I ask all the artists. What if I had a check for $300 million right now, and I give it to you, and it'll clear? It won't bounce like a basketball. It'll clear. Okay. The deal is I give you the check, but the condition is you're done with music. You can never play music again. You just fast forward through all the work, pain, and suffering of being an artist. You take the money and you just do something else, and you're done with music for the rest of your life. Would you take that check?
You must hate country music pretty bad, huh? I'm just
That's all artists.
I'm gonna pay everyone I'm gonna pay everyone to get country music done. I'm tired of this.
No. All artists get it. Pop. I've had some pop artists,
I
metal
got you.
artists. Everybody gets it. So you're no different. Do you take it?
See, I like a lot of other types of art as well. So I can still listen to music. You didn't say I can't just listen to
Can't
music. You said
perform.
I just can't perform it.
Right.
So I think maybe I'd find a form of art. So I think I would probably take the money and then start building bars or like one of a kind type things. And just listen to music, let some other people do the work.
All right. Well,
Maybe
you're the first person, Cody, who's answered that question that way. All the other artists have been like, no, I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. But you have an out. You're smart, so you're multi-talented. You have an art, in the background ready to go. I like it. I like it. Okay.
yeah, yeah, man. I'd still definitely like having more of a creative brain, man. It doesn't just go in one type of thing. This obviously the one that I love the most, the one I feel like I was born to do. But yeah, I would still have to have something for the creativity to get out, on something. But
Absolutely.
yeah,
Start all
when you
so
you got $300 million, I think you got a lot of different options to go. You know,
fair
get
enough.
that.
Well said. Well said. All right. All right. We're
Thanks.
having a good time. But music doesn't come from a vacuum, right? It comes from somewhere. Like I've watched some of your videos, and I'm like, oh, he's going down the country road asking about life and stuff and relationships. So for Cody, for you, where does your music come from?
So I think sometimes, well, people would call it, I'll give a few different answers, I guess. So, some ideas you don't know where they come from. So then people just say maybe a vacuum or the black hole or wherever ideas come from. Wherever, probably the same spot wherever I came from. Uh, so there's going to be your brand new original ideas that haven't ever entered the earth. They'll come from a spot like that. Uh, Other ideas, so like this next song I'm coming with, the Midwestern Pearl. That's written about two of my buddies. One that's like a farmer. One of them, he goes out and harvests and stuff. And then so that's just kind of like real life stuff. We were building a bar at his place, and just kind of meeting them, listening to their stories, and then I just decided to write about it one day. So a lot of them just come from real world experiences, whether they be my own personal experiences or emotions, or someone else that I know and empathetically, I guess, feel. So it moves me to write about it.
What part of the creation process do you like? I mean, I find that some artists, regardless of genre, some of them really like songwriting. Some of them like being in the studio. Some of them like being on stage. And it's surprising, Cody, that I've met some that, you know what, the stage isn't their most favorite place. They like taking it from the paper to the studio and just making the song is good enough. And where do you fall? What part of it do you like?
I think my favorite part is, which is like the most fun part, I think, is being in the studio watching it come to life, because you've already done like the hard part of it. Get all the lyrics, get all the kinks kind of worked out, and so now you're just like you're just kind of have this vision in your sound in your head over and over and over, and then to finally be able to hear it played back, or it never seems like it's the same thing, but it'll be a version of it played back that's like super smooth and well done, and that's like I mean, you just feel a little elated uh throughout the whole process. I think I'd have to say, yeah, the studio.
Yeah, yeah. When you're in the process of writing a song, it can go so many ways. And this is the thing I find very interesting is you all either take an experience or something that happened that you've seen and try to put some music around it. So for some of your songs you have out there, is there a backstory you'd like to share?
um I huh
You don't have to. I'm just asking.
I want to wait. I do like that question. I don't want to answer it yet because I want to let this EP build itself.
Okay.
And
You'll
I
have to
got
come back on and talk to me though.
yeah. Okay. All right.
Deal. Deal.
We got it. Okay.
No
That's
problem. No,
fair.
yeah, yeah, fair enough, man. And I'd love to have you back on. So
Hell yeah.
let's switch it up and talk about veterans then. I have met a lot of veteran artists like yourself, right? Um, a lot of them that I met get out of the military and maybe they dabbled in music or maybe they found music when they got out and they're trying to make this like you are, right? And they get very frustrated, understandably, that it's a grind. I talked to music artist Chris Turner. I don't know if you know him. He's in the Nashville area, Marine Corps veteran,
Mm.
and he's like, "Hey, man, it's about 10 years in Nashville before you're taken seriously, unless you're just one of those rare unicorns that hit right when you get there. It takes 10 years." What I'm trying to find out or get your perspective on is how do you stay in your lane for 10 years and be patient and work on your craft without getting frustrated? Does that make sense?
Mhm. Um, whew. Yeah, I think there's definitely the frustration. Not even necessarily frustration, more um I guess you could call it frustration. It's the lows, because you'll kind of get something moving and it'll be kind of moving for 2 or 3 months, and then it kind of just nothing. And you're like, oh man, it's the worst feeling, because you'll have like 2 or 3 months of just like everything you're trying, it ain't working, this ain't working, this ain't working. And so that gets pretty frustrating. But the way my brain kind of sees it or looks at it is, and it's worked most like this every time, right as I make it through that, it's boom, it's the next big step. It's something better. And I've noticed every time I'm down in one of those 3 month slumps or something, um, right as I get through it, it's my next huge step. So I just kind of look at it like that, even if I can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, I just pretend that I can. So try to keep my, my attitude good.
So it is about attitude. So you've got this release of Any Way You Go. I mean, what's that about in terms of not the story behind the song, but what are you singing about in that song? Because I
Oh
listened
yeah,
to it. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I can tell you the story behind that. I thought you were talking more album stuff. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, I was
Yeah.
talking album stuff, but I'm like, well, I'm gonna Semper Gumby, Cody, Semper Gumby. Any Way You Go, and I listen to it,
Oh
and
yeah.
I'm trying to put my country mode on, and it's a really cool video. Yeah, tell me the story behind that.
Cool. Yeah. It started from a dream. I was we were heading out to like a bonfire or something. I'm trying to remember it right. Uh, I feel like the more I remember it, the more I like make up stuff, and then I don't know which one was real or which one wasn't. I remember coming out of Walmart and being in the parking lot in this dream, and hopping in. I think there's a Jeep, a truck, and something else, and a gal says, trying to make up her mind who she's going with. And I remember saying, like, it doesn't matter. We're all going to the same place. Just hop in any of them. Because she was like, oh, do I go with you? Do I go with? So there's where the initial idea kind of came from. You can go with the girls. You can go with me. You can go with the good old boys. Don't much matter. It's all good company. And so I think I started kind of writing it in my dream, woke up and still remembered it quick enough to start jotting it down. And I think I wrote about it's splotchy, I guess, if that's a word. But I wrote about like the first verse and then the chorus, and then hit my buddy up, Jason Johnson, a veteran as well.
Wait.
See if,
Project K9 Hero?
yeah, Project Canine
Yeah.
Hero.
Oh,
Yep.
you know
That's
him?
awesome. Yeah, he's a real good buddy of mine.
He's a real
Yeah,
good dude, man. You tell him I said hello.
yeah. I will, man. Hell yeah. Yes, I hit him up and I swung down to his compound in Whitwell, Tennessee, and then we finished writing it. So he's a writer on it as well on this Any Way You Go song. That's we should give or go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he does the canine, rescues the canines from, their retired service dogs, right? And they would be destroyed, but he gets them placed with families. He saved a lot of dogs who saved a lot of soldiers' lives, man. It's really cool. Well, that's cool. So I listened to it, right? And you gotta understand, Cody, I'm not like a country dude, but I'm like, you're going down the road of life. And sometimes there's the pretty girl over there on the right, and there's your bros on the left. And sometimes, it might not be the right choice at that time to chase the girl. It might be time to, hang with your bros and make those memories and see what's going on. That's what I got out of it. That's what I got out of it. I don't know
Yeah,
if
that's awesome. Yeah, I mean it's just going with the same thing. Like it. We're all gonna have these same experiences. We're all gonna end up at the same bonfire. Like that's what I'm trying to kind of get. Make it lightful. Because we're gonna end up at a bonfire drinking beers at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a community song too. Just saying like whoever you are, wherever you're at, come on in here. We're all going to the same place. So it's not meant religiously in any any way. Yeah.
No, and then other times maybe taking the girl to the bonfire is the right choice. It was really cool how he pulled that off. So I was just like,
Awesome.
I
Cool.
appreciate it, which is for me a rare. You can ask people I know. So one other thing I want to ask, this is just like you have this hat on in your Facebook stuff. I'm looking at it right now with the fish hook with the two, it looks like a fish hook with two lines. Yeah, that one. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Oh, it's all right. It was out of the camera screen.
Well, I thought, well, now it makes sense now. Cody Howell, my bad.
Yeah. No,
I
it's
thought you,
it's it's like a fish hook. Uh and so whenever I went through like 70 different designs, just trying to come up with something, trying to come up with something else. And I went through a lot of different crazy designs before I just came back to simple, like simplicity. Then I was like, yep, I think that's it. And I did like that it happened to look like a fish hook and everything. And I was like, okay, that works pretty well for being
well, stuck in my
uh
mind. I didn't even hello. I'm bald for a reason, but I'm stuck in my mind. I'm like, there must be some tackle company that sponsors him. I want to find out who it is. Not
oh, I
thinking,
need to freaking find one.
not
Now, that's a good
CH.
idea.
Look, folks,
No,
this is
I'll tell you this pretty funny one. Okay,
all right.
so whenever I was getting married, uh, uh, my
What is
buddy put me
that?
up on a. It's a so my elbow popped out to this side of my arm. It was just kind of is a day after I got married, or the night of me getting married. My buddy put me up on his shoulders, and I went to reach and lean on someone, and they moved, so I came down and boom, this yeah, this bone popped to the inside like this. And
Dude.
then so I shoved it back in, and then like 2 or 3 days later, went to the hospital because it was like swelling up pretty big. It was like like that size. And then they said I broke off the little edge of my bone that the tendon or whatever was pulling. So I got that, and then so anyways, I had to like sit there and sign a bunch of stuff with my initials and everything, and I was right-handed, so I could try to do it left-handed, but it sucked. So I ended up coming up with this how I started signing my initials with the just because it was just like two little things to go to instead of CRH. That's where it started from, and then getting it all kind of worked out was that 70 different. And
They,
maybe it
they, they
wasn't
they
70,
wouldn't they
but
wouldn't let your wife sign for you because I got buddies whose wives sign their signature for everything.
I don't even remember. I don't think maybe we didn't come up with that idea. I'm trying to remember. I know I was signing stuff.
Well, yeah, they
I
make
don't
you
I
sign
don't
your
know if
life
I
away,
said
man. Literally.
yeah. You're like da 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 or initial here, initial here.
Hey, folks, I'm here with Cody Howell. We're having a great time. Navy veteran, talking about different aspects of his music. You got the single out now, which I liked, which is hard to do for me. What else do you have coming down the way for 2024?
Okay, so I just got done making the artwork for Midwestern Pearl. It's the next song coming out. Uh, it's one of my favorites, and it's just written by me. I think it's one of my best songs too. I mean, I guess you probably hear a lot of people say that often, but I think it's a really cool one. And then so I'm gonna put that out, and then follow it with the rest of the EP. So the EP will be 7 songs in it. So I can't wait for that.
When's the EP drop?
We don't have a date set yet, but I think it'll be like maybe like April.
Okay, all right.
So yeah.
So this folks is going to drop. We're talking in 2023. This is going to drop probably first part of March 2024. So look, we'll have Cody back on to talk about the EP after it comes out because I got to get all the deets about that. What's it like moving to the Nashville area and trying to build yourself up? Because I've been in Nashville a lot, and there's a lot of people moving in. There's a lot of people moving out, and it's hard to get like a toehold or a foundation built up of people who are following your music. What's that aspect like?
Yeah, okay. So whenever I first got here, it was slightly challenging it was challenging. It's still challenging. I'm still doing it. I'm still trying to build it up and get a better following. But COVID was going on, so kind of all downtown was shut down. Then there's some little bars around, and it kind of worked, and it kind of didn't. You go into it, only a certain amount of people are in. So that was just maybe slightly frustrating, but it was all right. It was I mean, you do what you got to do. Um, I'd say one of the best kind of things is maybe playing just playing a bunch, man. you know,
Well, that's the thing.
it's just that grind.
That's the thing. Like Chris Turner and a couple others were telling me, man, hey, Stephen Cochran, we're all telling me, hey, there's sometimes, man, for like 2 months straight, we were playing every night. And sometimes, if we had like a weekend jam, like a paid gig, and then, our main gig, we would pack up and go play one gig and then have to make a 40-mile trek, 60-mile trek to go play the next gig to and be there on time to do that for months. And I don't think people
Mm.
on the outside realize that, right?
Probably not, because you come through on one of their days. That's their Friday, so they get to see that, and then you're gone. And they're like, "Oh man, those boys just having fun all the time." It's like, yeah,
It's work, man. It's work.
yeah.
A lot of hard work. So you got the EP coming out. Is there anything else music you're looking to do this year in 2024, or is it get the EP out and just keep playing?
So mainly keep playing. I'm starting to work on getting everything ready for where I'm going to tour, where I'm going to kind of go here, kind of like in April. So starting to get scheduling stuff for that, and then mainly working on all the artwork and or lyric videos and stuff for these songs. Because right now I'm the one making the artwork, so it's kind of fun to have the whole piece of like
Everybody behind
it's
you?
do what.
So you have like more people involved making the artwork and all the stuff now, or is it still just primarily you doing it?
I got for it's like social media and stuff. I got people helping me with that for the artwork and for like lyric video and stuff like that. It's mainly me doing it. So it's like there's just another spot that I get to be creative at, but sometimes it takes time because you'll be like, man, I kind of want to go with this, but then it doesn't work. So you got to sit there and sift through a bunch of ideas and hope one pops in your head. So uh it's fun, but it's also frustrating. Yeah, I guess. But that's mainly what I'm kind of focused on right now. Because you'll be like, man, I got this deadline. I gotta get this artwork or this video or this thing ready. And your brain just ain't, you know, it ain't coming up with ideas. So
Well, as you're talking, I'm thinking too, if you're doing the artwork and the layout, it's got to be a financial savings in terms of a cash outflow to do it yourself versus paying a artist or, you know, company to do it for you.
it is and it's not because
Okay.
then I'm just taking the time. So now my time instead of doing other stuff is caught up in doing the artwork. So there's yeah, you might save, but you're
Nothing's free.
you're not saving time. Yeah. So it can work in it's got us both ups and downs.
All right. Well, how can people, I found you on Facebook. How can people connect with Cody Howell and be in the know about what you're doing while we wait for the EP to drop?
Yeah, so I try to post often on all my social medias, especially on my stories on Instagram and Facebook, Cody Howell Country. Uh and then a lot of good stuff is on my website. So tour and stuff, I'll have all that stuff being updated and on my website, codyhowellcountry.com. And then bands in town and stuff. I try to keep my updating process or up.
So, in short, I'm going to have folks all the links to how you can contact Cody on the Oscar Mike Radio Show post. He's on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, the whole 9 yards. You don't want to miss his EP. Links to any way you go will be on the radio show post as well. Cody, it's just really cool. Hearing your perspective, you went in the Navy and then used your GI Bill to further your career along. So it can work, but you got to work to do it, right?
Yeah, so like it really helps. It's GI Bill is like incredible, especially for trying to come down and do music. Because I mean, you got your GI Bill. It's also taking care of your housing and stuff, so you kind of have a little room instead of just you know, cold stone moving into a different area. But it's the grind is still there. You're still going out every night, even if you're not playing, you're still going out to show face and try to get some movement or meet somebody new, and get your foot in the door whichever way you can.
Well, I think I'm supposed to be coming down to Nashville later this year and being 2024. So if I get down that way, would love to see you play if you're doing that. But hey, man, I've had a great time talking with you. I like the song Any Way You Go. I really connected with, life in general. And, all the best, man. All the best. Thank you for talking with me.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, and yeah, definitely let me know if you come down. We'll have to link up or uh see if I got a show, or if anything, just swing out and go downtown or something.
Yeah, we'll go say hi to Jason, maybe. I don't know. Anything's possible. Anything's possible. But folks,
Oh
again, yeah. But
yeah,
folks,
Jason comes through here a bunch. My bad,
nice.
sorry.
No problem. So, hey, folks, this is what I love about doing Oscar Mike Radio. I learned so much. Cody, I want to thank you for coming on. There's all kinds of good stuff coming his way, and we want to be a part of it. Cody, you taught me something today, and I really appreciate that. As we think about veterans, man, what's it like getting support from the veterans community? I do want to close with that. What's it like when people like Jason support what you're doing and you can support what he's doing?
Oh, it's an extra boost to know that like you're not just a loner out there in a world or trying to do what you feel like you're supposed to do. Uh and I think that's support kind of on anything, but probably being a veteran, knowing a lot of other veterans that need that support, especially getting out of the military. You're like, oh man, what's going on? The transition is a little scary because you don't know what's going on. So having that support and just being like, okay, wait, yeah, I got you. We'll be all right. We'll be all right. It's huge. It's massive. Um it's wholesome and feel you get that brotherly uh um
Brotherly support, man, brotherly love, that camaraderie.
exactly. Yeah.
All right. Well, as we say in Oscar Mike Radio, we are mission in flight, and we're certainly going to seek, Cody be Oscar Mike at whatever he's doing. Cody, I want to thank you again for coming on, and all the best, brother.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate you.
And Trust Oscar Mike Radio. Take care. We'll see you next time.
Remember, on it teaches our mission. We care about it and we do it every day. But I think there are things that just hit you and give you a reason to go on. The theme for our 2024 for Roots Across America is Live with Purpose. It just seemed to fit in with the vows of the REAP, the 10 attributes that we feel represent our United States military. I thought, what a great opportunity to put those two things together and show our kids through how we act some of the things that can make their lives better, their communities better, and by doing that, the country better. For me, Live with Purpose, I think, it's a mindset. Set some guidelines and then go out and purposefully make life different, make a change. It's an opportunity to set an example.
Thank you for listening and watching Oscar Mike Radio, where our active duty service members and veterans are in action and the mission is in flight. Oscar Mike Radio is an oversized load Co-Sinister One production. If you are a veteran or know a veteran who needs help, please dial 988 and press 1 for the Veterans Crisis Line.